welcome you to the crosstown rival between the Chicago White Sox and the Chicago Cubs, two teams that share the same city, as they are excited to get this fifth and final game underway. Joey Fear, Gabby Chernoff with you. And, well, we look at where these two teams have done today, both with a win under their belt, and certainly looking to end off the day not only beating their rival, but going 2-0 in pool play.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a really cool pregame experience for all of them, getting a picture with Jenny Finch.
Yeah, getting a picture right now, but these two teams have played exceptionally well. The Chicago White Sox were able to handle business against the Kansas City Royals earlier 15-3. They had a dominant performance, and it started with their pitching from Janelle Simpson. They got it going early with a 6-0 lead in the first inning and never looked back from there. And the Chicago Cubs just played about 30 to 40 minutes ago against Gary Nike RBI, able to secure a 6-4 victory, a back-and-forth game between the two, but the Cubs came out on top. So two teams right now certainly looking to go 2-0 in pool play, and it is an exciting one to cap off day one of the 2024 MLB Central Nike RBI tournament.
This could be just the start they needed. Getting a picture, getting to meet one of the best softball players of all time, attended the University of Arizona down in Tucson. Just an exceptional generational talent. Even some of the best MLB hitters can't hit off of her. So a really cool thing for these girls to be able to meet her, for her to take the time to come out to the field. She threw the ceremonial first pitch to kick this one off as well. But like you said, very exciting. The crosstown rival programs, they share the same city, and they're both looking to go 2-0.
Yeah, certainly are. These two teams have done everything right in the first two games. They are excited to play an opportunity to try to beat their crosstown rival. Remind you, the Cubs 2-2 last year. White Sox 3-1. Two teams started off on the right foot here, but it is going to be big. What's a big key to the game, Gabby? What do you think? Is it the hitting, or is it going to be the pitching more on that side?
I think it's definitely going to be the defensive side of the ball. We just saw with that Cubs and Gary matchup. The Cubs are playing very grounded. They're very calm. They're very good at fielding, especially in the infield. They're just very smart with the play. They don't freak out if something happens super quick. They're able to kind of think on their toes and make the right decision when those plays are happening quickly. And then for the White Sox, we saw them. They were pretty offensively heavy in that game against the Royals. Kind of a big gap in the scoring margin there, with the final score 14-3. So I'm sure they'll want to blow this one wide open again. They'll get a chance to do so when they bat second. But the Cubs will kick this one off.
Yeah, they certainly will. Elise Franco, she'll get the belt. She'll get the nod at the pitcher position out of De La Salle High School in Chicago, Illinois. And so she has an opportunity here. Emily Rodriguez, she'll start off for the Cubs. Rodriguez, Collazo, and Jacinto. This Cubs team put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first last game. They gave up 4 runs in the top of the fourth, and then answered with 3 of their own, and were just able to squeak out the victory 6-4. Gary Nike RBI threatened late, but in the end, it was all the team in the blue and red. So stakes are a little bit extra higher here. Emily Rodriguez, she'll get set, step in the right-handed batter's box, and get this thing underway.
Yeah, kind of as you were alluding to earlier, the Cubs played a very complete game in that last matchup we saw from them. Just very good all around on both sides of the ball. They showed resiliency in that they came back from being down. They were able to pull out a victory. They were ahead, they fell behind, and they pulled back out on top. And as I kind of mentioned earlier, that really good fielding in both the in and outfield, and some good bats there as well, and just really good at reading balls and reading plays and reading pitches.
As a sharp hit ground ball over to Silvas, who throws on to first. And gets one down. Excuse me, that was Holcomb at third. So one down, the White Sox looking to go 1-2-3 here. It'd be a good start for them. Mia Collazo. And there's a strike.
Yeah, I just heard, as I was thinking, a good pitch, you heard someone from the crowd yell it. It started high and then dropped right in front of her. It was a really good pitch, and even seeing her warm up here, she's getting some really good pitches going here.
And Collazo steps out, 1-1. A ball and a strike. This Cubs team, 9 hits. Last game, were out hit. But the more important thing is they had more runs. An exceptional field play as well, as the 1-1 goes outside for a swing and a miss, 1-2. Final game of the day on both sides, including the baseball as well. The crosstown rival expect a higher attendance as Collazo drives one foul. 1-2.
Sox in the infield here, leaving a pretty big gap between second baseman and the shortstop, and they're very tight in, close to each other on third, and the shortstop and then first and second are very tight in there, and you kind of notice they're playing back too.
2-2. As a swing and a high fly ball into the center fielder, Rainey makes a routine catch. Good contact there from Collazo, but not able to see it drop.
Yeah, we've seen kind of a lot of flyouts in this tournament as a whole. That ball's just carrying up, and most of these girls from the programs have done a good job following them, reading them, so lots of flyouts.
So Annalise Francois throws the ball 1-0. Out of De La Salle High School. A rising senior from the greater Chicago area. So many of these players are. Francois delivers the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Chris Thompson can't speak enough of Olivia Jacinto. Such a high-quality person and player, such a positive player for this locker room. A 1-1 and up through the middle. Jacinto does her job with a 2-out single, and she'll remain at first.
Found a really good gap there, got enough on it, just grounded it out into center field. Buys herself enough time to run over to first for the single there.
So Isabella Faro in the cleanup spot. Two down. Sox were hoping to go 1-2-3. They're going to have to deal with the fourth batter as that flies out left field, and that stays fair. Oh, no.
Looked like it was right on the line there.
I thought that was on the inside. It was a delayed call. That got pulled back.
It looked like it was right on the line at the track. That was very close.
Man, that was close. So it's not going to be fair. That's going to be pulled back for a foul. So 2 down, no balls and a strike, 0-1. Francois with a decent command so far as she gives up a line drive through the middle, right where Jacinto drove it. There's back-to-back hits. Cubs starting to find the bats later in this inning.
Yeah, they're liking that spot, just sending it right up the middle, and it's working for them. They got 2 on.
So Yaneli Contreras is up. Alfara at first, Jacinto at second. 1 runner in scoring position, and that gets thrown low for a ball, 1-0. Yaneli Contreras gonna step in, get another hit off of Francois. That's inside, in for a ball, 2-0. Runners on first and second. 1 away. Here in the top of the first. Annalise Francois, I've not seen her arm yet today. As the 3-0 skied in the air to left field and in foul territory. Well, I can't say how many balls we've seen right-handers drive a ball and just go on the left field foul line. There's been a lot today. Definitely a lot of games would have changed if those stayed fair.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've been waiting to see all day if someone could just kind of pick the corner right on the line and for it to stay fair, but they've all gone foul today. We saw a good look there just recently. Looked like it was right on the line, but just foul, so maybe we can get one right over there.
Runners on first and second. The full count delivery, swing and a miss. As that is a drop third strike, and the throw on to first, and it's a routine put out. As the White Sox through 5 batters, no runs allowed, only 2 hits. So we head to the bottom of the first here on WCSN. We return from the Windy City here at Flames Field. Game number 5, what has been an exciting day of softball. We're not done yet. Cubs scoreless in the top half of the first. White Sox have a chance to do something of their own. Giant Pillow, a good bunt on the ground. The third baseman, Colasso, throws it, and it's not in time, where the speed of Pillow really put on display there.
Yeah, this White Sox team has some good legs underneath them. They're really able to get going. They're fast. They're a pretty bunt-heavy team. We saw a lot of those in the game we saw them play earlier today. And if they're not actually bunting, they're flashing the bunt, and it bode well for them.
So a bunt single for Pillow. Rainey is due up. Annabelle Diaz on the mound, and once again, Rainey trying to shove that bunt down the left field line.
Interesting, too. Rainey was at the top of their order against the Royals earlier today, and Pillow was second, and they've swapped that.
That 1-2 punch that they have, able to use them either at the leadoff or in the two-hole. Well high for Diaz, that goes over the catcher. How about that? Pillow on her way to third. So Contreras couldn't deal with it. Pillow at third, the 1-1 outside. Kendall Rainey. It's pretty clear what her intentions are so far. She backs out, and the 2-1 is high for ball three. Three balls and a strike. The 3-1 and ripped away. Full count now, 3-2. Rainey swings it, hits high into left field. Coming under it is Jacinto. Pillow dives on home, and that's the first run of the game, and it belongs to the team in black and white, the White Sox, with a 1-0 lead here early.
Yeah, the sac fly, RBI to bring in the first run.
So Maya Harrison had a big impact in the first game, and rightfully so. Has a lot of power. Really smart at the plate, able to read her pitch as well. One gone. That was just, boy, that looked like on the right side of the plate. And he found the strike zone. 0-1. The 0-1, nobody on base. Harrison through the left field gap. Maya Harrison with a base hit of her own. And a good start offensively for the White Sox.
It is, and Harrison good at just kind of finding those gaps, putting the ball where she knows nobody's going to be able to just scoop it up in the infield and throw her out. And a prime example of that there, she gets a single.
Zaria Hatcher. One gone, no balls and a strike. Hatcher. You'll see the 0-1 this time. Bounced on the ground. Left field foul line. 0-2.
Looks like that one just kind of hit a little bit lower on her bat. That's what caused it to kind of shank to the left. Pretty shallow.
Harrison stands at first. Already one run brought in. Pillow, the lone runner to cross the plate. And there's strike three. Zaria Hatcher goes down looking, and Diaz needed it for her confidence. Olivia Calderon, we've seen her in different spots today. She's been in the 5 spot. We've seen her also play different parts of the infield as she whips a ball near her third base coach, able to duck in time. So Calderon is called to action here as they need her. 2 down, the 0-1, swinging a high fly ball, heading back towards the wall. The left fielder, Jacinto, with an easy grab. But not before they gave up a run. The White Sox with a 1-0 lead. 3 hits in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second here from the Windy City on WCSN. Diaz, the pitcher, having her chance to bat. Leading off here in the top of the second. No balls and a strike. Annalise Francois already has done a good job. She gave up 2 hits, but her field has backed her up. Francois digs into the 1-1 just way outside. That ball got too far from her, 2-1. So Athena Corrales is on deck for the Cubs. Perez follows her after. The 2-1 popped up high. The first baseman, Hatcher, calls it out and gets it with ease. Zaria Hatcher doing her job.
Now batting number 23, Athena Corrales.
So Athena Corrales, she'll step in. As Corrales slices one right into the third baseman of Mia Holcomb.
It's an interesting setup that Francois has used on that one. The first pitch, she threw it right down the middle. It was a fastball, and you can tell by kind of how she's been releasing it. She's releasing it right at her hip. She's kind of pitching it crossbar. You can see her doing this swinging motion to get her arm ready for it. She's throwing a lot of curveballs. That's why they're all ending up on the right side. Like there's one right there that was didn't have as much of a curve to the one side as a lot of them have that she's been doing. But that's interesting that she set it up like that. She didn't do her normal curveball to kick things off. She just sent it right down the middle and then the out.
The 0-1 outside. 0-2. Painted that corner. So Francois has a chance to put up 2 scoreless innings and get it done on the defensive side. Nobody on base. 2 down, 1 away. The 0-2 well low. And low of the zone, 1-2. Alex Perez. The ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Francois. And pulled to the left field foul line.
That one was interesting too. I had a little bit of like kind of a backspin on it. It still went straight, but she was spinning it the other way. Normally they kind of have a forward spin and then they tilt out when she pitches that curveball, like it did right there. And then, but that one she pitched just before this one that was fouled off, it had a little bit of a different spin on it than she's been pitching.
Yeah, each team with 2 hits. Even game so far. The only difference is Janiyah Pillow was able to start fast and get home. A 1-2 on the ground to the shortstop. Pillow not able to field it. It's going to come up as an error.
Yeah, that had a lot of pretty high exit velocity off the bat. It was grounded to her, and then she tried to scoop it up too much on it, though it kind of just popped up. She had to fumble with it a little bit, which gave the runner more time to advance to first.
So bottom of the order with Chloe Gonzalez here in the 9-hole. Perez looking to possibly steal second. She has to be careful there. No balls and a strike. 0-1. Foul tipped. Doesn't matter though. It's a strike. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 0-2 is away. 1-2. Breeze picking up. Oh, it has been a beautiful sunny day here in Chicago. A 1-2 sliced, and just before the right fielder of Calderon. And boy, Perez was looking to go 3. She retreated back to second. Smart play there.
Yeah.
'Cause I think if she went 3, she would have been put out.
Yeah, she was about halfway to third. But Pillow, she was kind of right around the pitcher's mound there. She didn't see where she was. She was kind of spinning around looking for her. So the runner lucked out there that she wasn't caught by Pillow. 'Cause that would have been an easy out to second if she had seen her trying to run back.
Top of the order, Emily Rodriguez, her first time up. She grounded out to third. Made good contact on the ball, but Holcomb was just a little bit better in the field. Gonzalez at first, Perez at second, who reached base off of an error, and a shallow ground ball to Hatcher, who gets there in time. And that will take us to the bottom of the second. So the Cubs have out-hit the Sox so far, but they have come up scoreless in both their innings. We head to the bottom of the second here on WCSN. Well, once again, the pitcher having some hitting duties. Annalise Francois will start things off. Batting 6 in the order. Francois, Silvas, and Crane all due up 6, 7, and 8. Francois fouls back. 0-1. No ball, strike. The 0-1. Francois swings at it low. And Diaz already up in the count 0-2.
That pitch had a nice drop on it.
Really low. The 0-2. Once again in the ground. 1-2. A ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2, a hard bouncer over to the shortstop Gonzalez, who overthrows Rodriguez on her way to second, and it's Francois. And just a costly error there. Yeah, those are throws we've seen today from the shortstop and the third baseman. At times have not made it over to the first baseman.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of those, and then the runner, what could have been, or what should have been, a single turns into a double.
So Elani Herrera, the courtesy runner, is going to go in for Francois. And pushed out left side. Silva's, we've seen her. She's got a lot of speed, and if that ball can get to the ground quickly, more than likely she's going to get to first.
The top half of this batting order, really I want to say the first 6 or 7, they're just very fast, as we've said before.
The 0-1, Silvas gets it on the ground and then just goes foul. But they like what they see. White Sox have definitely been the best base running team that we've seen. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2. Strike 3 gets her looking. Boy, that's a big strikeout there, especially to send down Silvas.
Yeah, a really good pitch there. It had kind of just a slight drop on it. It almost looked like it was coming right down the middle, and then right before it kind of got to the box there, it just dipped down a little bit, and the batter didn't like it.
So here is Alon Crane showing bunt as well. Boy, they really are emphasizing bunt and just to advance the runners. And they have with speed with Herrera at second. Rodriguez and Collazo at the corners. They have shifted in. The infield has taken a couple steps forward. They know what she wants. The 0-1 is down the plate for a strike, 0-2. Alon Crane. The 0-2 delivery outside and low for a ball, 1-2. A 1 gone. A ball and 2 strikes. Herrera stands at second as a courtesy runner, and Diaz just can't find the zone. Last 2 pitches went exact same direction.
Coach over at third telling her we need to make a play, and she said earlier they need a run every inning. She picked that same spot again.
And once again, boy, that's the 3rd time she's gone low and left of the zone. And now Crane has done well to fight back in this count. She sees it at full. The full count delivery on the ground on the left side. Another foul ball.
That one was a lot higher than those past 3.
Three balls, 2 strikes. The full count service high above Crane, and she'll see ball 4 as she takes first base. Down 0-2 in that count, and sees almost four straight balls to advance to first. So Maya Davis in the 9-hole, just above the plate. Had a ball 1-0. One ball, no strikes, one out. Runners at first and second. Sox looking to build on this lead. Diaz with a service and a good pitch there as she gets Davis swinging. One ball, one strike. Maya fouls it back. 1-2. One down, 1-2. The 1-2. And boy, so many bouncers on that left side of the foul line. Davis doing well to stay in this count and stay alive at the plate. Mind you, Crane is on first. Herrera, a pinch runner for the courtesy runner for Francois. 1-2, swinging a sharply hit ground ball, and doing a great job is Gonzalez. Goes over to Collazo to get the runner out at third.
And this is what we were talking about earlier, making the play that's the smartest there. And, you know, it's not always the easiest one. That one there, not a good example of it being like a super difficult play to make or anything, but just kind of making the right decision, staying calm, staying grounded, and making the play that's of the most benefit to your team.
Certainly is. Davis heads home on a swing and a popped ball into the center fielder, Rodriguez. And does her job. So, they give up no runs. They still face a deficit of 1-0. We head to the top of the third. Cubs 0, Sox 1. We'll be back in a moment here on the Windy City Sports Network. Top of the third we go, 2 innings down as Mia Collazo, who flew out to center her first time up at the plate.
Now batting number 14, Mia Collazo.
Looking to go a different direction this time around. As Francois. A late call from the umpire, that is a strike 0-1. Outside for Francois, 1-1. Cubs have out hit the Sox 3-2. Each team with an error, 2 balls and a strike.
You talk about tells from a pitcher, being able to read these little things, these movements that they do.
As a swing and a high fly ball heading back towards the center. That's off the wall. Collazo on her way to second. Slides and gets there in time. We talked about yesterday, a lot of her hits in the home run derby looked exactly like that.
They were off, yep, they were off the fence, off the wall there.
So Collazo, biggest hit of the day for the Cubs in terms of this game, and she gets a no-out double. Jacinto with a single her first time up, rips it down the left field line, just foul.
That one was a little inside for her to be swinging at it. But like I was kind of saying just a little bit ago, these tells that these pitchers have, and you can kind of see her doing it now. She does this sweeping motion across her body, and you think that's to kind of get herself. There's the curveball that breaks to the outside because she's releasing it right at her hip. But a lot of times she does that before a pitch, and she's not always throwing a curveball. It's right down the middle or a drop. She has really good movement on all her pitches that she's deciding to throw. So you almost wonder if she's kind of doing that almost as a strategy to try and throw off the batter, because she's doing it before she throws curveballs and before she throws pretty much everything else. And so if they're trying to read her based on that, they're unable to. But a majority of what she's throwing is these curveballs across her body that she's releasing right at her hip that are breaking to the right.
Yeah, that's a good point there. That's if these batters can read the tells of the pitchers and find out where they're going. The 1-2 is high. But a dropped ball from Silvas advanced Collazo to third. No outs. 2-2. And a line drive over the shortstop into the left fielder Davis. That brings home Collazo and an RBI single for Olivia Jacinto. She's been a bright spot.
She reached just a little bit for that one. That pitch was high. It kind of rose as it came to the plate, and she made contact. She elevated her swing. It was a very horizontal swing. She didn't have a lot of really vertical movement on it. It was very horizontal, but she was able to get it out, find a spot for it to drop over there and left field. Really good hit, single for her.
As a shallow ground ball, Francois does her job, throws it over to Crane at second. So that's going to get out Jacinto. Now Alfaro's going to reach first on a fielder's choice. Nelly Contreras got out on a drop third strike. But we have a tie ball game here through 2 1/3. First pitch on the way and a bouncer over to Francois. Pillow not able to field it. She dives for it. That went under her glove. Was looking to make the play at first, but just forgot the ball under her glove.
Yeah, that was right over the glove of Francois, too. It bounced, and then she tried to reach up, grab, and get it. And a couple of miscues in the infield here by Pillow, which we didn't see from her in the first game.
So they are going to count that as a hit, rightfully so. They had to get Pillow out of position. That could have gone a different way. It bounced right over the head of Francois. Couldn't react in time.
It was like right over her glove, maybe an inch, 2 inches, but she reached up, tried to grab it, and it just bounced over.
Alfaro at second. Contreras stands at first. Annabelle Diaz, who popped out to the first baseman, Hatcher, her last time up at the plate. The 1-0. Outside for a ball, 2-0. Look what the Cubs done offensively. Have tripled the hits of the White Sox. A 2-0 and right into the glove of Holcomb.
Now batting number 23, Athena Corrales.
So Athena Corrales, who popped out to third. Very similar to what Diaz just did. And she check swings low in for a strike. No one won. Contreras at first, Alfaro at second. The 0-1 from Francois. Well, that was looking like a good-looking pitch. And yeah, late call from the ump, but it's an 0-2 count.
Francois has a chance to end the inning here. We'll see which pitch she decides to go with.
The 0-2, and once again, a hard-hit ground ball that just goes left of that left field foul line. Once again, we see an 0-2 count. The 0-2 from Francois, and a bouncer over to Pillow, who makes the play and just not able to throw it over to first. On her way home is Alfaro, and the Cubs have a lead right now, 2-1.
Now batting number 0, Alex Perez.
The Chicago Cubs have found their way down 1-0, 2 runs of their own. And now once again, they have Contreras, who stands at third. Corrales got to second. And once again, an error from Janiyah Pillow. We've seen a lot of shortstops today, not able to make that throw, and just got away from Zaria Hatcher. And a line drive in the right field gap. That brings home Contreras. Corrales as well, and on her way to second, and she gets out. Perez, some good contacts. Looks like 2-run score. As we head to the bottom of the third, the Cubs take back the lead. Starts off a bunt from Rainey, and she'll get to first.
Rainey loves that bunt.
It certainly does, and is good at it as well. She's got a lot of speed.
Number 32, Maya Harrison.
So Maya Harrison was able to get a single her first time up at the plate. So Rainey, the speedy Kendall Rainey at first. They're going to have to watch her steal, and she does exactly that now. The throw from Contreras over to Perez gets behind her, and Rainey to third.
errors in the infield early we're seeing from the Cubs. They had, I think it was, they finished with 4 or 5 in that last game, but it wasn't as, I guess, obvious blatant errors like the couple they've had here. And overall, they fielded the ball really, really well, especially at first and second. But the White Sox are popping a lot of these balls kind of to the other side, the left side of the infield, and it's a lot more, it doesn't look as clean as it did.
Harrison sliced into Rodriguez, who throws it over, but Rainey's going to walk on home. And a sac fly RBI for Maya Harrison. And the White Sox get a run back. They cut the lead in half, 4-2.
Now batting number 28, Zaria Hatcher.
Zaria Hatcher struck out looking. She's done a great job at first base. Looking to translate that into some offense. 11 combined hits through 3 1/3. The 1-0. Hatcher, a sliced fly ball that gets down before Corrales can get to it.
Now batting number 13, Olivia Calderon.
So a 1-out single for Hatcher, Olivia Calderon, who flew out to left field her last time up. Calderon, a sharply hit ground ball. The third baseman, Collazo, the throw to first is right on the money.
That's the cleaner fielding I feel like we're used to seeing from this Cubs program. We saw it in the game, or it was just the last game we did on here, but you know, the ground ball had some speed over to third. She scoops it up, a clean throw, like you said, right on the money over to first, and she's out.
There's Annalise Francois. But yeah, a lot of those throws, like you talked about, the shortstop and third, that at times they haven't been able to connect, but those are the type of fielding that you talked about from Collazo. A clean scoop with the glove and a swing and a sharply hit bounced ball. Collazo once again makes the play over at first, where she's been everywhere in that left side of the infield. As we head to the top of the fourth, White Sox get a run back. 4-2 Cubs. We'll be back in a moment here on WCSN. Innings down, 4 more to go as we head to the top of the fourth. Chloe Gonzalez leading off here, batting in the 9-hole. Gonzalez, Rodriguez, and Collazo do up 9-1 in 2 in the order. Gonzalez 1 for 1 with a single. 1-0 count. The 1-0 from Francois popped up into shallow center. Janiyah Pillow, the shortstop, scrambles on over to make the grab. That's a good sign to see, especially how quick she is able to get over there quickly.
Yeah, it is a good thing to see. She hasn't had the cleanest game over at that shortstop position either, but as we know, it's one of the most, if not the most, athletic position on the field. So her being able to get over there, the communication was there. Her teammates who were also going for it knew she had it on that one.
Top of the order with Rodriguez. 1-0 count. Throws low. One down. The ball, no strikes. Rodriguez 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. 1 to first and 1 to third. Each team with 2 errors. As hit sky high as the right fielder Calderon with a diving catch. Athletic plays from the outfield we've seen. Pillow able to go grab that ball in shallow center, and then Calderon as well.
This could be a good resurgence for the White Sox fielding.
Yeah, they certainly needed it. 7 hits for the Cubs. Collazo swings low.
Francois' pitches have really nice movement to them. They come they look like they're coming straight down the middle, and then they break wherever she wants them to right at the end.
And she's a talented arm. And what she's done so far, he has given up 4 runs and 7 hits, but a lot of good pitches. At times, they've been questionable whether it's been a ball or a strike. She's been really that good as a line drive through the shortstop Pillow. And Mia Collazo, back-to-back hits. So Olivia Jacinto has probably had the best day offensively. She's had a base hit and an RBI single. And they're going to need her once again. 2 gone. Collazo stands at first. As that is hit high into shallow right, but how about that? The second baseman Crane comes all the way over, reaches out and makes the grab. As no run score, we head to the bottom of the 4th, 4-2, Chicago Cubs in front. Bottom of the 4th we go. Angelina Silvas. Talented player, struck out looking her first time up. She's one of those players that, you basically know her intentions before. She's just trying to get on base and trying to get that ball down as quickly as possible. And she's been big for them. Last game she was really responsible for a lot of those runs that came early and often for the White Sox. But they have their hands full here in game number 2. She's ahead in the count, 2-0. The 2-0 count, Silvas. Boy, that was a lazy swing on that one. She didn't know if she wanted to bunt or swing, so definitely a slower swing, 2-1. The 2-1. Fouled way outside out of the ballpark, 2-2. The 2-2. Silvas, a shallow ground ball to the shortstop, Gonzalez. And not able to field that. Boy, that just went under her glove.
It almost looked like she knew she didn't want to really get a lot on that because she looked sure in her swing, but she didn't really get a lot on it. I think she just wanted to get enough, like you said. Just this is a girl who just kind of tries to get on base, and she does so here.
Like you talked about, that's a good point, that she didn't possibly want to go a hard ground ball to her. She wanted to have her commit. And in that time, Silvas gets to first. Showing bunt again. This time it's Herrera. Pinch hitting for Crane. Silvas gets to second. One-0 count. Lonnie Herrera. The strike. She'll see a 1-1 count. Funny because, yeah, the Cubs in front, but the White Sox, they played good enough to be right in this game. They certainly are, but you feel like the way they've played, they've had a lot of momentum as that one gets shot right to Diaz, who does her job but throws it low of Rodriguez. On her way home is Silvas. On her way to third is Herrera. And boy, there was question if she could have possibly got home, but boy, it seemed like a routine play for Diaz. All she had to do was just lob it underhand and threw it low, and it cost him a run.
Yeah, these are this is the decision making I was talking about in that Gary and Cubs game we just saw prior to this one. Cubs look a little bit more frazzled here. Those are the kinds of decisions, and it wasn't necessarily a decision, but it came right to her. She wasn't expecting it, and so she didn't play it as cleanly as she could have and definitely would have wanted to, and then the runner gets 2 extra bases because of it.
So instead of Maya Davis, the 9-hole, Kenzie Lee had a great showing in her first game as Lee chops one into center field. That gets down before Rodriguez can get to it. The tying run scores, and Herrera gets home for a 4-4 ball game. Janiyah Pillow is now due up as Pillow slices one down. Rodriguez not able to get to it. Lee on her way to second. And there's another hit once again. So Kendall Rainey is due up. Sack fly, RBI, and a bunt. Ball, no strikes. One out count. Two and 0. So Kendall Rainey is such a big part of this team. A Purdue commit, like we talked about. Taking her talents to the Big Ten. A great program over there as Rainey hits one high and into the dugout. Two balls, one strike. White Sox have tied this game up here in the bottom of the fourth. There's no outs. Just like how Gary and the Cubs went back and forth, his game is exactly that. Everything we've asked for. 3-1 count. Diaz outside. That's going to load the bases. So Maya Harrison in a golden opportunity here.
Yeah, she has a chance to blow this one open. Nobody out, bases are loaded, and she's a good hitter, so I wouldn't be surprised if she did do just that and blew it open.
Runner on third. You have Pillow at second, Rainey at first. So Maya Harrison, runner-up in the home run derby yesterday. They could use one of those. Harrison and a hard-hit ground ball to the shortstop Gonzalez, who throws on to third to Collazo. Gets Pillow out, but Davis gets home, and the White Sox lead 5-4. So a 3-run inning, and they're not done yet. Zaria Hatcher. It's a ground ball. Collazo couldn't field it. Rainey rounds third, heads for home. And just like that, another run scores for the White Sox. A 4-run inning, and they lead 6-4.
This is very similar to that Cubs Gary game we saw. Was tied at 4, and then one team just takes it, makes it 6-4. But the Cubs on the receiving end of this, instead of dishing it out like they were against Gary.
Certainly that. Olivia Calderon flew out to left field, grounded out to third, and this one sky high at a pop-up. Just like she did the first time up, fly out to left field. So Annalise Francois has reached base via error. Also a ground out to third. Runners on first and second. Zaria Hatcher, Maya Harrison, both on base. The 1-0. Bragging rights up for grabs between these two crosstown rivals. Sun setting and a beautiful day here it's been in Chicago. What a way to end it. 2 down. The 2-0 from Diaz. Runs high. 3-0. Angelina Silvas on deck. The 3-0. Up and just paints that corner. 3-1. This White Sox team, resilient. You know, they were up 1-0, gave up 4 runs at the top of the third. And over the past 2 innings have at least had a run. And swing and a miss down low for strike 2. Full count with 2 down. Annabelle Diaz. The 3-2. And hits Francois in the ankle, which makes an easy access to first. Bases loaded.
Now batting number 1, Angelina Silvas.
Silvas back up. Like you said, she just likes getting on base, and if she can get on base here and have it so that hit it to somewhere where nobody will get out, that would be a good strategy for her, sticking with what she has been.
Pretty interesting. A courtesy runner has come in. Melania Munoz at first instead of Francois. 2 down. Bases loaded. Munoz at first, Hatcher at second, Harrison at third. A 1-1 from Diaz. Low of the zone. Diaz winds up and fires. Silvas, and that goes to Collazo and a bouncer. Harrison scores. Hatcher on her way home, and here comes Munoz for run number 3, and Silvas gets to third. Boy, exactly what they wanted. This White Sox team can score in abundance. They have 7 runs here in the bottom of the 4th.
She picked as good of a spot to hit that as she could have. Drove in everyone except herself, but even for her, a triple.
A 3-run RBI triple. Well, the Cubs were up 4-1 at this point. You felt that the White Sox were going to make a run, but boy, have they done that. 8 runs in the last 2 innings. They are not done yet. And a driven ball over the head of Perez. That brings in Silvas. Herrera doing her job. 8 runs here in the bottom of the 4th, 10-4. White Sox in front. Yeah, I mean, Gabby, this was a 4-2 game, and you knew the White Sox were not going to go away, but you know, has this surprised you, this 8-run inning here in the bottom of the 4th?
It definitely has. Yeah, they've just been really hot with their bats. They've been smart about where they're placing their hits to drive each other home. Some big plays and really just trying to get on base, and that seems like it's the strategy for a lot of this order. A lot of bunting like we saw in the first game and this one too, just trying to get on base. Lots of bunting, and you know, that takes time to see results with sometimes, but obviously it's working for this White Sox team. And pitcher here could be getting a little bit tired too. Who knows, maybe she's pitching what she wants to. She's just not setting it up correctly, and so batters are able to read it, because you can have all the good pitches in the world, but if a batter can read it and be prepared for it and know what's going to happen and know how to hit it, it's not going to be as effective.
Maya Davis lines it right into the shortstop. Gonzalez makes a good play to stop the bleeding for now, as White Sox an 8-run inning in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 10-4. We head to the top of the 5th shortly here on the Windy City Sports Network. The Cubs looking for a big response. They're up 3 runs in this game. They find themselves down 6 runs, 10-4. Isabella Alfaro start things off. Scott on base twice, once from the single and once from a fielder's choice, as that gets lined to the shortstop. Pillow not able to make a grab. That's a hit. And a leadoff single from Alfaro.
Cubs doing what they can early here to try and dig themselves out of the hole.
Yaneli Contreras also with a single of her own today. They're going to need the bats. And that is a high fly ball left field side out in foul territory. Way outside for Francois. Top of the 5th inning. It has been an exciting game nonetheless. The 1-1 and a shallow ground ball over to Pillow. Steps up and throws to first. Fortunate to get that out.
Now batting number 29, Annabelle Diaz.
Because Contreras was moving. So Annabelle Diaz, 2 pop outs for her. One out. And sliced away. Foul territory. No balls to strike with 1 gone. The 0-1. And low and a wild pitch that goes away from the catcher, Silvas. Advances the runner. So Alfaro will take third and try to make it a 5-run game. A 1-1 and a ground ball that stays fair. Attacking is Holcomb from third, throws on to first, gets the out, but Alfaro gets home. So fielder's choice RBI for Diaz. This is going to bring in Athena Corrales, who had a 2-run RBI her last time up back in the 3rd inning, but since then it has been not much offense. White Sox have a little bit of leeway to give up a run or two, given 8 runs in the bottom of the 4th. And a swing and a shallow bouncer that goes into Holcomb, not able to field it. That's going to put a runner at first. Alex Perez is due up. Perez has also reached base via error from the 3rd baseman. And there's a lazy ground ball over to Pillow. Makes the throw and gets it in time. What a play there from Janiyah Pillow. On time and on target as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Cubs get one back. White Sox still lead 10-5 here on WCSN. Bottom of the 5th inning, Janiyah Pillow is due up near the top of the order. As first pitch, strike. Delia Morales has the pitching duties for the Cubs. Whips one in there. Pillow, a soft fly ball that drops short. And Gonzalez and Rodriguez run into each other.
Yeah, that collision there resulted in a delay of the throw. Not sure it would have made it to first in time still.
Luckily, they're okay. As Thompson, head coach Chris Thompson wants to talk things over. A lot of miscommunication we've seen today. Especially in those spots where it's right in between the infield and the outfield, right in those shallow center spots. And, yeah, there have been issues.
Yeah, when you have multiple girls running at it, and it seems like nobody's calling it because they don't know if they're supposed to get it or if their teammates are going to get it, so it just drops because they don't want to run into each other and they don't know who's supposed to get it.
On the ground, Rainey. And Kendall Rainey, a successful and well-executed bunt. That puts her at first, Pillow at second. So they got their 2 top base runners on base once again with no outs. The exact start they would have liked. Maya Harrison Has had 2 RBIs today with a base hit. 1 on a fielder's choice, 1 on a sac fly. She's had a big day. The 1-0, sliced foul. As the 1-1 and a sharply driven ball into right field. Pillow gets home. That makes it 11-5.
Now batting number 28, Zaria Hatcher.
Zaria Hatcher is due up, but Maya Harrison once again, another RBI. As that goes away in a wild pitch, Rainey walks on home. Harrison to third.
It's just kind of cleaning things up, I think, when you think the play is over, because we've seen a lot of that today, is you think the play is over, so you're kind of loosey-goosey, you're not as careful as they probably should be being with the ball, and it results in extra bases and extra runs that don't need to be tacked on.
A ground ball in between second and third. Harrison walks on home, and Zaria Hatcher with her first RBI of the day. And that looks to be the game. Wow, so they did implement the run rule. 8 runs. They're in front after 5, and that will do it. A 13-5 victory for the White Sox. Faced a 4-1 deficit. 8 runs in the 4th, 3 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. As 20 combined hits. But the White Sox, through 2 games, have run ruled both teams. They have looked to be forced to be reckoned with here at the first day through pool play.
Yeah, definitely, and that's got to be good for your momentum, for your confidence. If you're kind of forcing them to implement the run rule in the first 2 games you play, you know, that gives you a really good head on your shoulders going into tomorrow. You hope to carry that momentum against tomorrow's opponents. Should be Gary and Indy for the White Sox tomorrow in pool play. And so we'll see if the same thing happens that they've done to the Cubs and to Kansas City today.
Yeah, White Sox, they're going to have to enjoy these 2 wins, but a quick turnaround, 8:30 in the morning. They'll be right back here at Flames Field. They take on Indy. We'll have that covered for you all day tomorrow. Gabby, thoughts on the first day and how it went? You know, a lot of action, a lot of runs, and certainly the White Sox look to be the dominant team so far, but there's plenty of softball left to be played.
Yeah, a couple of close games, and then we've had 3 of them that this run rule has had to be implemented for. So it's kind of just interesting, I think, to see the matchups, how 2 teams are playing so close together, and then how another team can just blow the same team that just had a close game right out of the water. And obviously that comes in discrepancies and, you know, maybe talent level, just how the team has come together. It happens, but it's cool to kind of just see how things are playing out. Wondering if the same trends will carry into tomorrow. We didn't get our hit though into deep in left field over there. They kept fouling them over there. We were really hoping there were a couple close ones, and we didn't get one to drop right there. But an inside the park home run today we saw earlier. So lots of cool moments. Yeah.
A lot of great fielding as well, and certainly all around a successful day 1 of the 2024 Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament here in Chicago, Illinois. But for Gabby Chernoff, for Joey Fear, for everybody at WCSN, we'll see you right back here tomorrow at 8:30 on the Windy City Sports Network. Have a good night, everybody.